I rode into the storm at dusk. Rain hit like nails. My coat grew heavy and cold. Thunder walked the hills. I held the lantern high. "Easy, boy," I said. "We go slow." He snorted and bowed his head. I felt alone under that sky. "Home soon," I said. Fire in a roof. Lightning cracked the clouds wide. In that hard light, I saw a shape. A broken wagon leaned in the ditch. Tools lay in the mud. "Help," a small voice said. It was not the wind. My heart jumped hard. "Who's there?" I called. Rain answered. Then a weak breath. I moved closer with the lantern raised. She lay half in the ditch. Mud covered her dress. Her hands were tied tight. Blood marked her lip. "I'm here," I said. "Stay still." She coughed and shook her head. "They left me," she said. "They took everything." I cut the rope with my knife. Her wrists felt like ice. "Can you stand?" I asked. She tried and failed once. "I can try," she said. "Lean on me," I said. "We go to my ranch." She pressed close and breathed hard. "What's your name?" I asked. She looked down and stayed quiet. "We can talk later," I said. "You are safe now." I hope that was true. The storm kept shouting above us. I lifted her onto the saddle. I climbed up behind her. I kept one hand on the reins. The other held the lantern near. Its warm circle touched her face. We moved slow on the flooded trail. The horse fought the mud. I talked to keep her awake. "Breathe steady," I said. "You are alive." She nodded and stayed silent. After a mile, she whispered, "Why help me?" Her voice was small and rough. "Because someone once helped me," I said. "I owe that truth. How far is your place?" she asked. "Not far," I said. "A valley past that ridge." She shivered under my coat. "Do you have a fire?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "A good fire waits." We reached my gate at last. The storm pushed on my back. My ranch looked dark. Inside the house I lit lamps. The lantern rested by the door. I built the fire fast. "Sit," I said. "Drink this." I poured coffee and watched her hands. "Thank you," she said without looking. "Bandits?" I asked, keeping it light. She nodded once, eyes on the coals. "3 men," she said. "Red scarves. Hard laughs." She swallowed and set the cup down. "They said I owed them money." "Do you?" I asked. She stared at the wall. "I owed someone," she said. "Not them." "Did they hurt you?" I asked. She touched her cheek and winced. "Only pride," she said. "And my ribs." I fetched clean water and cloth. "Let me help," I said. She let me clean the cut. She watched my hands and breathed slow. "You live alone?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Just me and the horse. Why alone?" she asked softly. I set the cloth down and thought. "War took my brother," I said. "After that, I forgot how to stay." "I am sorry," she said quietly. "I know loss." I nodded and stoked the fire. "We all pay," I said. "Some pay in coins." She looked at the lantern by the door. "You keep that close," she said. "Stormlight scares me." "It keeps truth near," I said. "And lies far. Can I rest here?" she asked. "You can take the bed," I said. "I will watch the fire." She frowned. "You need sleep too." "I will manage," I said gently. "I have long nights often." She stood and swayed a little. I moved to steady her. She stiffened at my touch, then eased. "Thank you," she said again. "I will not forget." I wanted to believe that line. Mercy felt like a good choice. At the bedroom door she stopped. "If I scream, do not come," she said. "Dreams pull knives on me." "I will wait in the hall," I said. "I will keep the lantern bright." She closed the door soft and slow. Rain drummed steady on the roof. I stood by the fire and listened. My breath matched the storm outside. I spoke to the empty room. "Trust is a thin bridge," I said, "but I will cross it." I remembered my brother's last night. He said, "Choose mercy when you can." I tried to keep that promise. From the room came a sound. Not a scream, but a sob. I knocked once with my knuckles. "Do you need water?" I asked. Silence came, then a small, "No." Time passed like slow cattle. I checked the windows. I set my rifle near the chair. The storm began to fade. Before sleep took my eyes, I prayed. "Let her be honest," I said. "Let me be strong." The lantern burned low and steady. I felt almost safe again. Then a soft floorboard creaked. I waited but did not turn. A shadow crossed the lantern light. My skin tightened along my spine. The doorknob clicked and stopped. "It's all right," I said. The shadow froze, then slipped away. I sat there the rest of the night. I listened to her breathe and dream. I counted each breath like coins. Dawn would bring choice and truth. For now I guarded the fire and hope, awake. When she opened her eyes, she looked lost. I said, "You're safe here." She didn't answer, just stared at the ceiling. Her lips were dry, her face pale. I brought her soup and said, "Eat slow." She flinched when I moved closer. "I won't hurt you," I said. Still, she kept her eyes low. After a while, she whispered, "Where am I?" "My ranch. Near Clearwater." Her voice shook. "You found me?" "Yeah, you were half dead in the mud." She looked at her hands. "Why did you help?" I smiled a little. "Because someone once helped me." She didn't smile back. Just drank the soup in silence. Later that evening, I gave her clean clothes. She held the dress like it might bite her. "It's old," I said. "Was my mother's." She looked up, surprised. "You trust me with that?" "I trust easy," I said, though it wasn't true. She smiled for the first time. It was small, soft, like morning light after rain. Something inside me cracked open. She slept by the fire that night. I stayed by the door just in case. Her breathing was light, careful, like she feared even dreams. I thought about how quiet the house had been before she came. Too quiet. Now even her sighs made it feel alive again. Next morning she asked, "You live alone?" "Mostly. A ranch hand comes by sometimes." "No wife?" I shook my head. "Not anymore." She didn't ask more. Just said, "You're kind." I laughed a little. "No one's called me that in years." She said, "Then maybe they were blind." I looked away so she wouldn't see me blush. By the third day, she moved easier. She helped feed the horses, her hands trembling at first. "You've done this before?" I asked. "A long time ago," she said. She brushed my old mare with care. The animal leaned into her touch. "She likes you," I said. "She likes peace," she replied. "Maybe I do too." At supper, she hummed a tune, quiet and sad. It reminded me of my brother, Jonas. He used to whistle the same tune before we went to war. I said, "You know that song?" She froze. "My father used to hum it." I smiled. Small world. Her eyes softened, but her hands shook again. There was something behind her calm, fear, maybe guilt. That night, I found her sitting by the window. Lightning flashed outside. She said, "I hate storms." I said, "Me too." We stayed quiet, watching the rain hit the glass. She turned to me. "Why are you so kind?" I said, "Because I know what pain looks like." She whispered, "So do I." When she went to bed, I placed my mother's shawl beside her. She said, "It's beautiful." "It keeps the cold out," I said. She smiled again, that same soft smile. "Thank you, Elias." Hearing my name from her lips felt strange, good and dangerous. I told her, "Rest, you're safe here." She nodded, pulled the shawl close, and closed her eyes. I sat by the fire long after she slept. Her voice echoed in my mind, "You're kind." No one had said that since the war. Outside, thunder rolled, but inside the ranch was quiet, almost warm. I didn't know then that warmth could hide cold. I didn't know she'd already seen the safe behind the cupboard. I just watched her sleep, thinking maybe, just maybe, I could start again. I woke to thunder again, but the sound felt wrong. Not from the sky, from inside the house. The wind pushed the door open. Rain hissed through the cracks. I grabbed my lamp and stepped toward the safe. It was open. The lock hung broken. The drawer inside was empty. Every gold coin gone. Only her shawl lay on the bed, wet from the storm. I stood there for a long time. My breath came hard like I'd been punched. "She's gone," I whispered. My voice sounded like someone else's. I checked the kitchen, the barn, the porch. The horse stall was open. One saddle missing. Tracks already washed by rain. "She fooled you," I muttered. I said it again. "She fooled you, fool." I threw the lamp. Glass shattered across the floor. The fire burned quick, then died. I fell to my knees, shaking. I felt something sharp inside me. Not anger, not sorrow. Just a hole where trust used to be. At dawn, I packed my rifle and left. The rain had stopped. Mist covered the valley. The air smelled like metal and mud. I rode fast toward Clearwater town. The sky stayed gray. Every mile felt heavier. When I reached Main Street, dogs barked. A drunk man laughed near the saloon. I tied my horse and walked in. The floor creaked. The smell of whiskey hit my nose. Mara Doss stood behind the bar cleaning a glass. She looked up at me. Well, look who crawled in from the storm. I didn't answer. I just stared at her. Need a drink? She asked. I need her, I said. Her eyebrow lifted. Her who? The woman I brought from the hills. Brown hair, green eyes. Said her name was Clara. Mara's hand slowed. She sighed. Oh, Cowboy, she said softly. So it's your turn now. What do you mean? I asked. She's done this before, Mara said. Every few months. New town, new man. Same story. She cries. She cooks. She steals. My jaw locked. I gripped the counter. She wasn't like that, I said. She was scared, hurt, Mara laughed. They always are. I leaned closer. Tell me where she went. Mara shook her head. I don't know. And if I did, I'd tell you to let her go. I slammed my fist down. She took everything. Maybe she took what she needed, Mara said quietly. You think she does it for fun? I stopped. Her words hit something raw inside me. She used me, I whispered. Maybe, Mara said. Or maybe she saved you from something worse. What could be worse than losing all I had? Losing what's left of your soul, she said. I looked around. 2 old men stared at me from a table. Their eyes held pity or maybe warning. I turned away. She said she had no one, I muttered. Maybe she still doesn't, Mara replied. But she walks fast. You won't catch her, I walked out. The wind hit me like ice. The sky was clearing, but my mind wasn't. I rode down every dirt road, asked every stable boy, every shopkeeper. Did a woman pass through? Most said no. One said maybe. One said, ain't wise chasing ghosts, mister. By noon, my hands hurt from holding the reins. By evening, I gave up. I stopped near the river, climbed down, and sat in the mud. The water carried broken branches and foam. It looked like everything I lost, floating away too easy. I took her shawl from my saddlebag. Held it close. It still smelled faintly like smoke and lavender. I pressed it to my face and shut my eyes. I would have given it all to you, I said out loud. The wind didn't answer. Only the rustle of the trees. Night fell again. The stars looked sharp, cold. I thought about the way she smiled by the fire, the way she said thank you without words. Was it all a lie? Or did she mean it, just for a moment? I didn't know. Maybe she lied to live. Maybe I believed to feel alive. Both kinds of hunger can kill a man. When I got back to the ranch, the house was quiet. The broken lamp still on the floor. I swept the glass, fixed the door, sat down near the cold fireplace. I whispered to the dark, you can keep the gold. Clara, just send back the truth. But the storm outside had already taken it, same as her. The days passed like dust in the wind. I rode from town to town, asking about a woman named Clara Vale. Some folks remembered her. Most looked away. They said, she's trouble, Cowboy. Let her go. But I couldn't. Her name burned in my chest like gunpowder. At the saloon in Dry Creek, I met a man with red eyes and a dirty coat. He was drinking alone. Name's Boone, he said, eyeing my badge pin. You look like a man hunting ghosts. I'm looking for a woman, I told him. Brown hair. Soft voice. Might have been with bandits, Boone smirked. Plenty of women run with devils now. You got gold? I dropped 2 coins on the table. He grinned, missing teeth. Heard she rides with Red Monroe. The name froze me. Red Monroe. I knew him from the war. He led a gang that took towns apart for fun. If Clara was with him, she was already in hell. Boone leaned close. They camped near Black Ridge, dangerous ground. You go there, you best not come back empty. I left before dawn. The sky was pale and cold. The wind carried sand and secrets. I followed the ridge for hours, eyes on the tracks ahead. Each hoof mark looked like a promise I'd never kept. At noon, I stopped by an old well. My horse drank while I stared at my hands. They shook. Not from fear, from need. I needed answers more than air, I whispered. Why, Clara? Why lie to me? The sheriff found me that night at a campfire. Hayes had always been a fair man, gray hair, calm eyes. He looked tired when he sat down beside me. You still chasing her? He asked. Yes, I said. She stole from me. She stole your heart, son, he replied, poking the fire. Not your gold. That's the part eating you. I said nothing. He watched the flames dance. You think revenge will make it stop hurting? I think it's all I have left, he sighed. I've seen men follow pain till it eats them whole. You chase ghosts, Elias. You'll end up one, I laughed. Short, sharp, hollow. I already am one, Sheriff. He stood and dusted his coat. Then I'll pray you find peace before you find her. He rode off into the dark. I sat there listening to the wind drag across the sand. I remembered the night she left, the sound of her boots, the slam of the door, the silence after. That silence still lived in me. By morning I found new tracks near the ridge. 5 horses, one small, maybe hers. I followed them for miles until the wind rose again. Soon the tracks began to fade. I pushed harder, eyes stinging with dust, then nothing. The trail vanished. Just flat ground and empty wind. I dropped to my knees and touched the sand. It felt warm, alive, mocking me. I whispered, "You win, Clara." The wind answered with a sigh. Still I couldn't stop. I turned south, following shadows instead of signs. Every ridge looked like her shape. Every sound felt like her voice. I didn't know if I was chasing her or running from myself. When night fell, I made camp under a dead tree. The fire cracked weakly. I held her shawl in my hand, the one she'd left behind. It still smelled like smoke and rain. I pressed it to my face and closed my eyes. "Tomorrow," I said to the fire, "I'll find her. Or she'll find me." The flames flickered, and the wind carried dust through the air. It danced around me like ghosts, and for a moment, I thought I heard her whisper my name. I reached the canyon before sunset. The trail was dry, full of bones and dust. My horse breathed hard. I told him, "Easy now, boy." "We're close." I saw smoke rising from a ridge. Laughter came with the wind. I moved slow, down behind a dead log. My hands were shaking. My heart felt like a hammer. Then I saw her, Clara. She sat by the fire with them. Red Monroe stood beside her, tall and cruel. He poured whiskey into her cup. She smiled at him. A soft, fake smile that cut through me like a blade. I whispered, "So it's true." "You chose them." The wind answered for her. I stayed low, watching. The gang looked drunk and loud. 3 men cleaned their rifles. Another cooked beans. Red laughed hard, slapping one of them. Then he looked at Clara. "You think you're clever, girl?" He said. She froze. "I did what you asked. Not fast enough," he snapped. He grabbed her arm and threw her to the dirt. My throat burned. I gripped my rifle tighter. I should have shot him right there. I could see his chest, clear in the firelight. One pull and justice would sing, but I didn't. I just watched her stand up again, silent, proud. He spat near her feet. "You cross me, I'll hang you myself." She didn't move. Her lip bled, but she stared back like fire. Something twisted in me. Maybe hate. Maybe mercy, I whispered. "Why don't you run, Clara?" She didn't hear, but I wished she could. The gang kept drinking. One man started singing. The canyon echoed with noise. I crept around the rocks, slow as shadow. My boots made no sound. I wanted to get closer, to see her face again. She rubbed her arm and looked at the fire. Her eyes caught the light, soft, tired, and sad. Not the eyes of a thief. Not tonight. I heard one of them say, "Red's got her trained." "She'll do what he says," Red laughed. "Oh, she'll do more than that. When we hit the next town, she's the bait." The men cheered. My blood went cold. He was using her, the same way he used to use others. I'd seen him do it before the war ended. Women, kids, anyone who could help him steal or kill. Clara didn't look up. She just stared into the fire. I wanted to shout her name, pull her away, tell her I understood. But I stayed quiet. I aimed the rifle at Red's back. "Do it," I whispered. "End it now." My finger touched the trigger. Then she looked up, straight at me. Her eyes found me through the dark, through the smoke. I swear she knew I was there. She shook her head, just once. No, my breath stopped. I lowered the rifle. The world went still. Why would she stop me? Was she afraid for him, or for me? I didn't know anymore. I didn't know anything. The men started passing out near the fire. Red stumbled to his tent, drunk. Clara waited until the last one fell asleep. She took something from her boot, a knife, and crawled toward Red's tent. I leaned forward, my heart in my mouth. She pushed inside. A scream came a second later, short, sharp. Then silence. She stepped out, holding her side. Blood ran down her dress. "Clara!" I hissed. Her head turned fast. "Elias?" I rushed from cover. You're hurt. She pressed her hand to her ribs. It's not bad. He's dead. I looked past her. The tent moved once, then stopped. I didn't know what to feel. You killed him? She nodded. I had to. He would have killed me. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to hold her. I did both in my heart. Why didn't you run when you could? I asked. Her voice broke. Because I owed him one more lie. Now it's paid. I took her arm and helped her walk. You can't stay here. Others will wake soon, I know, she said softly. But you shouldn't have come. I had to. She smiled, weak but real. Always trying to save me. We reached the horses. The night was cold and quiet. The fire behind us burned low. Where will you go now? I asked. She looked at the stars. Where no one knows my name. You can't ride far bleeding like that. I'll make it, she said. I always do. I wanted to stop her, but something told me not to. Some debts can't be shared. She looked at me one last time. Thank you for coming, Elias. Then she rode off into the dark. I watched until the dust swallowed her. I never raised the rifle again that night. I just stood there, alone, listening to the wind whisper her name through the canyon. I found her near the old canyon road. The air was dry, full of dust and danger. I held my rifle tight. My hands shook, not from fear but from memory. She stood near the fire, her face glowing in the orange light. Red Monroe's men laughed around her. My stomach turned when he touched her arm. She smiled at him, but her eyes looked empty. I waited behind a rock, watching, burning. When night fell, the gang got drunk. I moved closer. My boots sank into the dirt. I aimed the rifle at Red first, then at her. My finger trembled. I could end it. One pull, and the pain would stop. But then she looked up, straight at me. She whispered, Elias? I froze. The laughter stopped. The world felt small. Red turned his head, half asleep, then waved her off. Go piss if you need to, he mumbled. She walked into the dark, her steps slow, careful. I stepped out, still holding my gun. She stopped when she saw me. The fire behind her made her eyes glow red and wet. I thought you'd never come, she said softly. Don't talk, I said. Just tell me where my gold is, she sighed. Half of it's gone, yes, but I didn't keep it all. I aimed higher. You stole it. You lied. I had to, she said. Red, he said he'd kill my sister if I didn't. Your sister? I laughed, bitter. That's new. She's real, Clara said. Her name is Mary. He has her. I had no choice. You had a choice, I said coldly. You could have told me, she shook her head. And if I did, you'd try to save me. You'd die. You almost did already. I wanted to hate her, but my chest hurt instead. She walked closer, slow and shaking. I hid half the gold under the old windmill. I planned to bring it back, liar. Her eyes flashed. Then shoot me. Go on. I didn't. My hands felt weak. She stepped even closer. I could see the dirt on her face, the fear under her voice. I didn't come here to beg, she whispered. I came to end this. And what? Red, me, everything. Before I could answer, a gunshot split the night. The bullet hit the ground near my feet. Then another. Get down, she yelled. We both ran behind a wagon. Red's voice roared through the dark. You think you can leave me, girl? You think I won't burn you both alive? Clara fired back. You already burned my soul, Red. Her shot hit one of his men. I heard him fall. The fire spread, lighting the camp like a demon's mouth. I reloaded, breathing hard. You brought them here? I didn't mean to, she cried. He followed me. Gunfire tore through the wagon wood. I shot twice. One man screamed, then silence. Red shouted again. You stole from me, Clara. From me. She shouted back. You stole my life! Another shot. She fell beside me, clutching her shoulder. Clara. I grabbed her. Blood soaked my hands. I'm fine, she lied. Just shoot him. I leaned out, saw Red behind a burning log, reloading. I fired. My bullet hit his leg. He screamed and dropped his gun. I ran to him, kicked his weapon away. He laughed even through pain. You think you're her hero, Rancher? Maybe not, I said, but I'm her ending. I pulled the trigger. His head fell back, and the world went quiet. When I turned, Clara was sitting against a rock, pale as the moon. You did it, she whispered. You're free now, I knelt beside her. We're free, She shook her head. No, Elias, not me. I pressed my hands to her wound. Don't say that. You'll live, she smiled faintly. You always believed in what's broken. That's what I liked about you. Save your breath, I said. We'll get you to a doctor. She looked at the fire. No doctor can fix what's gone. I felt her heartbeat slowing under my hands. Why did you take the bullet? I asked. She blinked slow. Because I couldn't steal from you twice. Her voice faded like wind through dry grass. I wanted to scream, but the night held me quiet. I took her hand. It felt light, like smoke. She said one last thing. Under the windmill, half the gold, half the truth. Then she stopped breathing. I sat there holding her. The fire behind us crackled, swallowing Red's body and the rest of the camp. I looked at her face, calm now, almost peaceful. I whispered, "You should have lived to see the dawn." The sky turned pale, soft blue. I buried her before sunrise, under a lone tree near the canyon. I marked her grave with a horseshoe. She always said she believed in luck, though it never believed in her. When I stood, I saw the windmill far in the distance. I didn't go there. I didn't want the gold anymore. The fire in her eyes was gone, but I could still feel its heat on my soul. The fire spread fast. The camp turned red and gold. Smoke bit my throat as I crawled through the dust, gun in my hand, breath short and hot. "Clara!" I shouted. My voice broke in the roar. "I'm here," she cried. Her voice came weak, somewhere near the wagon. I pushed through smoke. Sparks burned my coat. Red Monroe's men were running, screaming, shooting wild. One bullet hit the ground near me. I fired back. A man fell. "Red!" I shouted again. "Show yourself, coward!" From the shadows I saw him, tall, bloody, holding a torch. His face glowed in the firelight, teeth shining like bones. "You should have stayed home, rancher," he yelled. "She's mine!" "She was never yours," I said. He laughed and raised his gun. I fired first. The shot hit his chest. He fell back into the flames. His scream mixed with the fire until both faded. I ran to Clara. She was on the ground, her hands over her stomach. Blood soaked through her dress. "Don't move," I said. "I'll help you." She shook her head. "It's too late." "No," I said. "You'll live." Her eyes found mine. "You forgive me?" she asked. I froze. Smoke wrapped around us like ghosts. "I don't know," I said. "You broke me." "I had no choice," she whispered. "He had my sister." "I know," I said. "You told me. I never wanted your gold," she said. "I just wanted to live." Her hand trembled as she reached for her shawl. The edge was burned and black. "Burn it," she said. "It's cursed." "What are you talking about?" "Every lie I told. It lives in this cloth." "Burn it, Elias. Let it die." I stared at her. "You think fire will save you?" "No," she said, a faint smile on her lips. "But maybe it will save you." I took the shawl. It felt heavy, soaked with rain, blood, and memory. I threw it into the fire. It caught fast. The flames turned blue for a moment. She closed her eyes. "It's pretty," she said. "Like the sky. Stay with me," I begged. "Please." Her voice faded. "I'm tired of running." I held her hand tight. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She opened her eyes one last time. "Don't be," she said. I came back late that night. Mara looked up from her counter. "You wait long?" she asked. "I waited," I said. "All day under your roof." She poured coffee and studied me. "You look like dust," she said. "Like a man lost in storm." "I feel empty," I said. "Like a burned barn." She slid a letter across the table. "Clara wrote this before the fire," she said. My name sat on the front, Elias. I touched the paper. It felt warm, like breath. "Read it here or take it home," she said. "I'll read it here," I said. "Stay with me." We sat near the stove. Rain tapped the roof. I broke the red wax. A folded map fell out. I left it on the table and read her words. "Elias, I lied to live. I stole to stay alive. Red made me choose. He held my sister's life. I took half your gold and hid it safe. I planned to return. I feared your anger. If I die, forgive me. If I live, I'll come back. The map shows where it sleeps. Do what you choose." My hands shook. The words burned like straw. Mara's eyes softened. "She asked for mercy," she said. "She asked," I said. "But she also cut deep." "Pain means you cared," Mara said. "That's human. I cared, I said. More than I knew. She pointed to the map. You'll take it? I held it closed. Not now, I said. Gold can save your ranch, she said. My ranch still stands, I said. My soul shakes. She gave you a choice, Mara said. Take or leave. I hear her voice, I said. In the rain. What does it say? She asked. It says let it rest, I said. Let dust keep it. We sat quiet until Sheriff Hayes walked in. You look pale, he said. I read her letter, I said. He nodded. That woman had grit. She had secrets, I said. And a kind heart. He looked at the map. You going to dig? I don't know, I said. I need time. Trust is a horse, he said. Break it once, it limps. It still walks, I said. Just slower, then ride careful, he said. Bury the past or bury yourself, he left. Rain hummed against the glass. Mara poured more coffee. Do you forgive her? I try, I said. My anger still lives. Anger eats, she said. It chews the soul. I fought wars, I said. Lost brothers, lost peace, she touched my sleeve. You're alive, Elias. I am, I said, but not whole. You will heal, she said. If you want to. I want peace, I said. Not revenge anymore. Then keep that map shut, she said. I nodded. It feels like a small heart, I said. Still beating. Maybe it beats for you, she said. Maybe hope. I stood and looked out. The street shone wet. I'll go home, I said. Need quiet. Mara came to the door. Call my name if you fall. I will, I said. Thank you for your roof. I put the letter in my coat, near my heart. The map stayed folded. Its weight felt small but heavy. Promise to live, she said. I promise, I said. I rode through black hills. Wind pushed hard. At the ranch, I hung the letter by the fire. I didn't open the map. Flames danced on the ink. Smoke curled like a soft hand around my face. Clara, I said, I forgive you. I choose peace. Thunder rolled far off, gentle now. I slid the map into a tin and hid it under the floor. Some treasures, I said, must stay buried. Rain eased. Night softened. I waited by the lantern. My heart breathed slow like it finally found rest. The rain came slow this time, soft like a whisper. I sat by the window, lantern lit, the same one she once touched. The flame danced, and I said, Clara, you still out there? The wind pushed against the glass like it wanted to answer. I smiled, tired and half drunk on memory. I stood, grabbed my coat and went outside. The rain hit my face, cold but clean. My boots sank in the mud. The night smelled of wet dust and smoke. It always does when I think of her. I'm fine now, I said to the dark. But even I didn't believe it. Her voice came back in my head. Don't lie, Elias, you never were good at it. I laughed under my breath. You were worse. The rain fell harder, covering my tracks. The ranch stood quiet behind me. No more horses, no more noise, just me. I used to hate the silence. Now it's all I got left. I walked to the fence, leaned against the post. The lightning flashed far away, white and lonely. I saw her face for a second in that light. She looked like she did that night, cold, brave, and sad all at once. You ever forgive me? I asked the wind. It didn't answer, but it moved like it wanted to. The lantern's glow fought the rain, trembling but alive. That's what I was too, trembling but alive. I took out the small map she'd left me. Still folded, still dry inside my pocket. The paper felt old, soft like skin. She had written, for the day you're ready. I never opened it. Maybe I never will. I heard the door creak behind me. Mara's voice came soft. You talking to ghosts again? Just one, I said. She listening? Always. Mara stepped beside me, pulled her shawl tight. She was wild, she said. Could have ruined any man. She saved me, I said. She robbed you, I nodded, and gave something back I didn't know I lost. Mara sighed. Hope? Peace, I said. A kind that hurts less every year. The thunder rolled like a slow drum. Mara turned to go. Don't drown out here. I won't, I said. She'd laugh if I did. I watched her walk back inside. Her light faded, leaving me alone again. I whispered, Clara, you remember the storm? The wind blew harder. Yeah, I said, answering myself. You always liked the noise. A horse neighed in the far barn, restless from thunder. I thought of the night I found her, tied up and bleeding. How her eyes looked at me like I was both danger and safety. I thought saving her might save me. Maybe it did, in some cruel way. I leaned down, picked a small flower near the fence. It grew from the same ground I buried her shawl. The fire had taken it, but the earth had kept its memory. I tucked the flower into my coat pocket beside the map. "Guess that's your way of saying you forgive me," I said. The rain slowed again. I turned off the lantern, watched its glow die soft. Darkness settled, gentle like her voice when she said my name. I looked toward the canyon. Somewhere out there, the ashes still slept under the soil. "And maybe her ghost did too," I whispered. "I'm not angry anymore." It felt strange but right. The words hung in the rain, heavy and free. I walked back to the house, every step quiet and sure. Inside, the fire waited, small but steady. I sat down, boots wet, heart calm. The storm outside kept singing her song, and for the first time, I didn't try to forget. I just listened.